Chapter 96, Lotus 4. Quote. What wind blew into you? It's none of an outsider's business. If you don't know, keep quiet. Quote. Quote. Although I felt irritated for a moment, seeing Seo Ran and Song Jin both seemingly relying on each other to some extent, I nod. Congratulations then. I can only thank you again, senior. It's all right. Seeing Seo Ran happy, it seems I've done well in carrying out the Sea Dragon King's errand. Seo Ran smiles at me and says, someday, if you need my help, please call on me. It's all thanks to you, senior, so I'll be sure to answer your requests 3 times, no matter what. I appreciate your kindness. Seo Ran bids me farewell, and Song Jin, with a gruff look, tosses a comment at me. Since you've helped my disciple, as a master, I want to repay you. Is there anything you desire? I'll grant you 3 requests. 3 requests. I first point to my upper dantian and ask him, can you possibly dissolve the mental restraint curse on my upper dantian? Hearing my words, Song Jin looks at me and asks, who placed the mental restraint curse on you? It's not the Sea Dragon King or someone of that sort, is it? I can't dissolve a curse by a heavenly being. No, it's a person called Bloodwood Practitioner Yuan Li. Do you know him? Song Jin nods and replies. I know of him. He's that core formation cultivator living in the heaven-treading desert, correct? The one with an unusual Dharma treasure. He couldn't reach the nascent soul realm due to lack of potential and was extending his life with elixirs. Unusual Dharma treasure. Yes, it's a black castle-shaped Dharma treasure. I don't know its exact name, but inside the castle, its owner can possess strength beyond their realm. A core formation peak can have the strength of a nascent soul. Early nascent soul can have the strength of mid-nascent soul. Mid-nascent soul can have the strength of late nascent soul. It's a powerful Dharma treasure that gives its owner strength beyond their realm, quite famous among core formation cultivators. Shiver. If I had directly sought Yuan Li in the heaven-treading desert before. In the Black Castle, the Yuan Li, possessing the strength of the nascent soul realm, would have been my opponent. I'm glad I didn't go. I inwardly sigh in relief and ask, why don't the heavenly being seniors covet such an incredible Dharma treasure? That. Song Jin clicks his tongue and explains. It's useless to anyone above heavenly being. Moreover, the Dharma treasure has a force of destiny, making the trials of ascension much harder. That's why no one really touches it. Though, I've heard rumors that the Sea Dragon King peculiarly sought that Dharma treasure. Did Bloodwood Yuan Li desperately attack Serving Command Palace because of the Black Castle? Anyway, this mental restraint curse was placed by that Bloodwood practitioner Yuan Li. Can you undo it? Let me see, I need to flow my consciousness into your upper dantian to understand the curse. Are you planning to do something with my consciousness as an excuse? Do you think so little of me, even though I am just a remnant soul now? I look at him for a moment and then ask, can you promise not to harm me, swearing on the Nether Crossing ship? Yes, I, Song Jin, swear on the Nether Crossing ship not to harm you. Satisfied. All right. I nod and cautiously allow him access to my upper dantian. Song Jin's cold consciousness infiltrates my domain of consciousness. After a while, his consciousness brushes past the 5 elements blood curse banner in my upper dantian and then leaves. Opening his mouth, Song Jin says, if I were alive, maybe I could have dissolved it in a month. So that means, it's a bit difficult now. The curse was cast by Yuan Li, correct? Since he has the skills of the nascent soul realm, it's not easy with my current power. I see. However, Song Jin crosses his arms and continues. His face reverts from the middle-aged face to his skeletal form. I can teach you a method to master the curse yourself. It's slower but effective in dissolving the curse, and once fully dissolved, you can transform it into your own unique technique. Interesting. What method is it? It's called the One Emotion Method, a consciousness technique. You focus endlessly on a single emotion, understand it, and infuse your mental restraint with that emotion, making it your own. Whoosh. Song Jin tears off a piece of the damaged Nether Crossing ship and writes down the intricacies of the One Emotion Method, handing it over to me. Here, no tricks involved. Take this. And what about the other 2 requests? Thank you. After skimming through the details of the One Emotion Method, I ask him for a cultivation method with the same requirements as last time. Between Devil Legion Terracotta Scroll and Silica Earth Great Wall Practice, I wonder which one is better. After some thinking, I request Silica Earth Great Wall Practice. Silica Earth Great Wall Practice, it's quite a complex one to master, is that all right? It doesn't matter. If mastered, it's a method that can manipulate dragon veins, making one unmatched. However, it requires understanding the land where you're rooted. It's not only difficult to understand but also drastically loses power once you leave your original location, making it a half-useless method. Does that not mean if I stay in my original place my power will increase significantly? I recall my past life. It seems better to learn the Silica Earth Great Wall practice and defend either Shattered Heaven Peak or Serving Command Palace, as I will likely be stationed in one place. If that's what you want. Song Jin once again produces the intricacies of the Silica Earth Great Wall practice. And your last request? My last request is, I look at Song Jin and point at Seo Ran. Please teach Seo Ran well. That will suffice. Since Seo Ran has already offered to help me, there is no need to extract everything from Song Jin. Unexpectedly, Song Jin looks momentarily flustered but then speaks. That goes without saying. Since it's something I should do anyway, consider that request void, and I'll owe you another favor in the future. Thank you. I bow to Song Jin and then rise from my seat. With Seo Ran's matter resolved and the one emotion method obtained, it seems the issue with the 5 elements blood curse banner will be resolved in about 30 to 40 years. Now, what remains is extending Kim Young-hoon's lifespan. I recall the framework of the spell used by Yuan Li. I understand the general idea. Yet, could I redefine those details into a new spell to ripen the fruit of longevity? First, I need a powerful energy source. A source comparable to the boundless life energy Yuan Li absorbed from the core formation cultivators. A powerful energy source. What can it be? Suddenly, my thoughts turn to the newly received Silica Earth Great Wall practice. A method that will ultimately allow control over dragon veins. Dragon veins. I stare intently at the Silica Earth Great Wall practice. Could I use the immense power of dragon veins, refine it with Yuan Li's spell, and make the longevity fruit ripen? The immense natural force flowing through the earth might be comparable to the life energy of tens of thousands. Of course, it's fantastical. It's an unrealistic thought. If it was that easy, why would there be devilish clans and human elixirs in this world? However, right now, even such a fanciful idea needs consideration. I have to invest in seemingly impossible tasks to forge new paths. And for that, I need formations and knowledge, new knowledge, and if it's knowledge about formations. The 3 great figures of the Qi-building realm. The alchemy of Mokli Yun Ryo. The magic artifacts of Gomyo Cheon Sak. And the formations of Cheongman Ryong. I decide to seek out Cheongman Ryong. After receiving the Silica Earth Great Wall practice from Song Jin, I left the Black Wind Sea and went to where Kim Young-hoon was waiting. You've grown even more in these few days. Kim Young-hoon has already taken another step towards 5 energies converging to the origin. You're right. Since I couldn't speak the language here, I focused more on reading people's intents, which advanced my understanding of 3 flowers gather at the summit. I am amazed at his rate of growth. Despite my easy explanation about 5 energies converging to the origin, he's already nearing that realm. He might reach the realm faster than expected. After pondering for a moment, I speak to him. Kim Hung, how about we part ways now? What? Why are you saying that all of a sudden? From what I see, Kim Hung, you grow faster when you assimilate and apply understanding on your own, rather than just digesting what I've simplified and organized. I've already taught you everything regarding 5 energies converging to the origin, including the ultimate pinnacle and beyond the path to heaven. Yes, you did. Then, from now on, why not try reaching beyond the path to heaven on your own in this world? Given his nature, it seems he will progress faster by challenging himself against the world rather than just following me. Though he looks flustered at first, my continued persuasion eventually leads him to nod in agreement. After parting with Kim Young-hoon and asking him to eliminate Mokli Yung later on, I leave Yangguo and head towards the Cheongman clan in Biokra. If I directly go to the main house of the Cheongman clan, it will certainly surprise them. Originally, the main houses of cultivating clans are known to those who should know, but officially, it's a secret. Cultivators of the core formation realm and above, such as clan heads and core formation elders, could visit other clans' main houses without being considered rude. However, for elders who are merely at the Qi building level, it's basic etiquette to pass through the territory of the cultivating clan before visiting, unless instructed by the clan head. Of course, my actual strength is at core formation, but since my visible skill is at the very beginning of Qi building, I decide to act accordingly. Thud, I head to the territory of the Cheongman clan and use a spell on the formation that envelops the territory to give it a stimulus. My pure spiritual force momentarily interacts with the formation, and soon after, a cultivator of the Qi refining 12th star comes out. I am Cheonmin Jaeon of the Cheonmin clan. May I know which senior from which clan you are? He asks me courteously, and I reply. I am a wandering cultivator. I heard that a Qi-building cultivator of your esteemed clan, known as Cheonmin Ryong, is an expert in formations, and I have come to consult him on a certain matter. Ah, you've come to see the elder. Please wait a moment, I will contact the elders of the territory. He takes out a communication device from his pocket, infuses it with spiritual power, and relays the reason for my visit. After a while, a Qi-building cultivator from inside the territory comes out and welcomes me. Haha, my name is Cheonmin Dan. Typical of a cultivator from the Cheonmin clan, he is a muscular giant, and he leads me inside the territory to his residence. Thank you for visiting the Cheonmin clan. I heard you wish to see Cheonmin Ryong Hung. You want to discuss formations? Yes. May I ask for your name? My name is Seo Eun-yun. Please call me Cultivator Seo. Understood, Cultivator Seo. Haha, it's an honor for our clan that a talent like Cultivator Seo has come to consult with our Hung on formations. First, as a distinguished guest like Cultivator Seo has visited, let me inform the main house and get back to you. For now, let's have some tea while we wait. Cheonmin Dan treats me, who has reached Qi building, as an equal guest, and we have tea together, sharing various stories. Although there isn't much to talk about regarding cultivation methods, the Cheonmin clan is a martial clan devoted to the Tao of combat, so he and I share our battle experiences and have a hearty conversation. A few days later, I am invited to the main house of the Cheonmin clan, and finally, I am able to meet Cheonmin Ryong in person. Cheonmin clan's main house. In one of the guest rooms. Slide. The sliding door opens, and a stern-looking old man with a goat beard enters. I stand up and greet him respectfully. Hello, I have long heard of your reputation. Hello, there's no need for such formalities. We are both cultivators of the same realm. I will call you Cultivator Seo. You can just call me Cultivator Cheonmin. Facing my past master, who has become Cultivator Cheonmin, I open my mouth reluctantly, with a face unable to cry or smile. Understood, Cultivator Cheonmin. My master has appeared before me as Cultivator Cheonmin. Translator notes. At least it's not Senior Seo and Junior Cheonmin lol. Chapter 97. Lotus 5. Is there something uncomfortable? No, thank you for your hospitality, Cultivator Cheonmin. I face Cheonmin Ryong while hiding my emotions. He looks puzzled but does not ask further and takes a seat. I sit down as well. I heard you came to discuss formations with me. Yes. I saw a spell a nascent soul cultivator use the other day, and I wanted to create a formation based on that framework, so I came to consult with Cultivator Cheonmin, an expert in formations. Can I see the kind of formation you are talking about? I show him the design of the formation I have planned. Cheonmin Ryong looks over the formation for a while and says, so, this is a formation that concentrates strong energy to transform into life force, thereby accelerating the growth of heaven and earth spiritual plants, correct? That's correct. That's inefficient. It would be faster to use the filthy methods of the devil path to refine life force and pour it in. Why do you think such a formation has never been developed? Even if you pour a foolish amount of spiritual energy, it's bound to be slow in accelerating the growth of spiritual plants. This is a very important matter to me. Is there really no way? After examining the formation for a while, Cheonmin Ryong looks at me and asks. Cultivator Seo, I don't think you came to me with such a foolish formation structure. You must have some more information to request my help, correct? I nod and take out another book from my belongings. It's a book recording information regarding the longevity tree and longevity fruits. I've done detailed research on the heaven and earth spiritual plant I want to accelerate in growth. The species of the spiritual plant, its location, the condition of the surrounding dragon veins, the uniqueness of the area. I even know the current state of the spiritual plant. It's just about to bloom and bear fruit, and it will be fully ripened in a few hundred years. I want to use the formation to accelerate the ripening period by a few hundred years. Cheonmin Ryong carefully examines the book I gave him, stroking his beard. If that's the case, a formation that only applies to that particular spiritual plant and accelerates growth for a few hundred years. As he looks at the book, he suddenly shudders. The longevity fruit. Just one fruit can extend life by 100 years. That's right. I should mention this to the clan head. A spiritual plant that can extend life by this much is a tremendous treasure, especially for the core formation clan head. Especially now, with the ascension gate open and many heavenly being cultivators having ascended, maybe I can get support from the clan head. He asks me questions about the book and the formation and we end up talking through the night. Ah, it's already dawn. Is there an issue? Haha, it's been a while since I had so much fun. But I have to report to the clan head, so I must leave. Taoist CEO, among the Qi building cultivators of Met, you are the most knowledgeable and have an outstanding understanding of cultivation methods. Honestly, when you first presented that nonsensical formation structure, I thought you were mad. Thanks to you, I've learned a lot. No, I've learned more from Taoist Qianmen. Taoist, a nickname among cultivators of equal standing who are close. He seemed to like me after talking through the night, and at some point, he started calling me Taoist. This foolish disciple, cultivator CEO, Taoist CEO, how my title changes over time. Someday, will the word, senior, come out of Qianmen Ryong's mouth? As I see Qianmen Ryong off, I feel a lingering bittersweet taste. As I grow more powerful, I can surpass fate and witness new miracles and changes. But somehow, I feel some things should remain unchanged. I am afraid of the day, senior, might come out of Qianmen Ryong's mouth. Haha, cultivator CEO. Did you have a good talk with Ryong Hung? Ah, cultivator Qianmen Dan. Qianmen Dan, who had led me to the main house, approaches and asks. It's been a long time since I've seen Ryong Hung talk so happily. He always grumbles that there are only muscleheads in the Qianmen clan. It seems he really enjoyed himself for the first time in a while. I only asked cultivator Qianmen questions. To say he was happy makes me feel embarrassed. Asking proper questions is no small feat. Cultivator Qianmen Ryong always complains about the ignorance of other Qi building elders. Last night, listening to your conversation, it was rare not to see his usual prickliness. I'm truly impressed by cultivator Seo's knowledge. That's kind of you to say. It's just that my master taught me well. I swallow the bitter taste in my mouth and force a smile. I see. May I ask who your master is? I apologize, but I prefer not to disclose my master's name. I understand. It seems you are young, too. I wish even half of our clan's younger members are like cultivator Seo. Qianmen Dan sighs, talking about how the recent generation is chasing after easy success in women, and how he should assemble them all and discipline them to restore order. After some idle talk, Qianmen Dan glances at me and asks. What about it, cultivator Seo? If someone with your knowledge can lecture our clan's younger members. He's making an offer for me to join the Qianmen clan. It's a respectful proposition, unlike the ridiculous act of forcibly taking someone of equal status as a son-in-law. I'm afraid that being affiliated with a particular place doesn't suit my nature. That's a pity. You have such a firm conviction. I wish my descendants could learn from you. You're having a tough time with the young generation of the Qianmen clan. I recall the siblings from the Qianmen clan who had been freely throwing punches at the Spirit Path conference. If all the younger members of the Qianmen clan are like that, it must be a headache for the elders. Well, it's not so much difficult as it is frustrating. No, not frustrating, but it's infuriating that they're bewitched by strange rumors, neglecting their cultivation and chasing after women. Chasing after women, Qianmen Dan thumps his chest in exasperation. This is all because of the Mad Lord. Damn it. Since everyone saw him roaming around the whole world before the Ascension Gate, they believe anything related to him must be inherently good, leading some to blindly follow him. Among them, the most troublesome is the top heir of the Byuk clan, that rascal. Despite reaching Qi building, he behaves disgracefully, enticing even the innocent children of the Qianmen clan to chase after women with him. Qianmen Dan thumps his chest again, clearly angry. What exactly happened, if I may ask? It seems he was frustrated and desperately wanted someone to listen to his grievances. Just listen. Byuk Moon Seong of the Byuk clan, one day found a cultivator in Byokra with the same qualities as the Mad Lord, a heavenly being cultivator. What? I am shocked and look at him in surprise. The same qualities as the Mad Lord. Yes, the same kind of qualities as that mad old man. Therefore, not only the Qianmen, Byuk, and Gongmyo clans but also cultivators from other countries showed interest. However, it turned out that although this cultivator has the same qualities as the Mad Lord, their qualities are far inferior to the Mad Lord. What kind of qualities are they? Qianmen Dan looks at me somewhat incredulously and asks. Don't you know about the Mad Lord's qualities? The Mad Lord was born with a talent known as extraordinary pattern law talent. Those with extraordinary pattern law talent show a natural aptitude for creating magic artifacts, formations, puppets, and such. When they concentrate on creating something, strange patterns appear on their skin, and the number of colors in those patterns determines their rank, from extraordinary pattern law talent of 7 pattern to 1 pattern. The more colors, the more impure and useless the talent, fewer colors indicate a purer and more innate talent. Ah, that's quite a unique quality. He continued. Well, true talent in extraordinary pattern law talent ranges from 1 pattern to 3 pattern. 4 pattern to 5 pattern is just average, and 6 pattern to 7 pattern is practically useless in creation. I listened to Cheonmin-dan's explanation. But the cultivator found by Byuk Moon Seong is just a 4 pattern extraordinary pattern law talent. He discovered a mediocre talent and exaggerated it as if he found someone with the same qualities as the Mad Lord. Claiming that securing this person would be a tremendous contribution to their clan, he lured not only his own clan's younger members but also those from the Cheongmin and Gongmyo clans to chase after the woman. That's unfortunate. If it were someone from the Cheongmin clan, I'd have given them a good thrashing, but I can't do that to the heir of the Byuk clan. It's infuriating. You must be deeply troubled. Just then, I just discussed this matter with the clan head. Oh, Cheonmin Ryong came out from the main house of the Cheonmin clan and spoke to us. The clan head suggested that, together with Taoist Seo, we should completely eradicate the root of this problem. What do you mean, Ryong Hung? The information about the longevity fruit brought by Taoist Seo. After discussing it with the elders, the clan head decided to support us unconditionally. It seems the information about the longevity fruit and its accelerated growth was told among the clan head and elders. But what does that have to do with solving the problem? Well, we need to study formations with Taoist Seo, and we need someone to provide the magic artifacts for the formation. Cheonmin Ryong slowly explains to Cheonmin-dan and me. So, the clan head plans to formally request that woman who's been causing a stir among the clan's younger generation lately to create the magic artifacts for the formation. By placing an order in the name of the Cheongmin clan, and having that woman busy in her workshop, we can legally deal with any of the young heirs from our or other clans who cause trouble, considering it an interference with the Cheongmin clan's affairs. Indeed, even though she's only a 4 pattern extraordinary pattern law talent, she's still a highly talented artifact craftswoman, certainly capable of producing satisfactory results. Yes, that's likely. Haha, thanks to the formation brought by Taoist Seo, we can also resolve the issues with our troublesome younger generation. Cheonmin Ryong grins and pats my shoulder. Suddenly, I have a question. I understand that those with extraordinary pattern law talent are naturally skilled in creating magic artifacts and such, but what level of this talent does the Mad Lord have? Is that even a question? Obviously, he's a 1 pattern extraordinary pattern law talent. The Mad Lord's talent is truly demonic. Just imagine, before the Ascension Gate opened, many heavenly being cultivators fled whenever the Mad Lord appeared. Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin-dan, who might have seen the Mad Lord before, both suddenly shiver. Not as high as 1 pattern extraordinary pattern law talent, but still a 4 pattern extraordinary pattern law talent. I become curious about the cultivator who possesses the same kind of talent as the Mad Lord. Well, Ryong Hung, we should proceed in the Cheongmin clan's decisive manner. Should we just kidnap her? Yes, let's go and kidnap her quickly. Quote. What? I can't keep up with Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin-dan's conversation and ask them for clarification. Aren't we supposed to place an official order? Indeed. However, the magic artifacts for the formation must be continually refined and experimented with as we research the formation. Wouldn't it be better if the Cheonmin clan makes them and conducts experiments directly? That's why we plan to kidnap her and have her create the artifacts. Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin-dan look at me as if wondering what the problem is. Right, this clan is known for its excessive boldness. After all, this is the clan that tried to kidnap me for a forced marriage when I was weak. We will officially pay her and place a proper order after kidnapping her. The plan under the clan head's name won't cause her any harm, other than temporarily changing her residence. Quote. I hesitate, not knowing where to start objecting, and then sigh softly. Quote. How about we first meet this 4 pattern extraordinary pattern law talent cultivator, and then ask for her opinion. Anyway, Cheonmin Ryong, Cheonmin-dan, and I flew eastward to Biokra on a flying artifact to kidnap the 4 pattern extraordinary pattern law talent. The creator needed for the formation. Wait, This direction is. I feel a sense of déjà vu. Taoist Seo seems a bit unfamiliar. With the Cheonmin clan's way, I assume. Ah, yes. Cheonmin Ryong strokes his beard and speaks. People of our main house don't act thoughtlessly like thieves. We observe the situation and act appropriately. It's just that, according to our clan's principle, we tend to be a bit more aggressive. Quote. Cheonmin Dan continues. We're not kidnapping the artifact craftswoman just for our sake. Right now, that woman is surrounded and troubled by the heirs of not only the Cheonmin clan but also the Byuk, Gongmyo, and other clans. She might even prefer to be under the protection of the Cheonmin clan. Thinking about what Cheonmin Dan said, it seems that from the craftwoman's perspective, this might not be such a bad option. The founder of our clan, ancestor Cheonmin Chongho, once said, "Always consider the other's perspective when you act, but once you take action, do it boldly, no matter how." I see. Thinking about it, the Cheonmin clan's attempt to capture me for a forced marriage wasn't entirely bad for me. A bit aggressive, but always considering the other's perspective, that is the Cheonmin clan. But this direction, could it be that the 4-pattern extraordinary pattern lot talent cultivator is? In the distance, the skyline of the easternmost part of Biokra begins to appear. Ryong Hung, are we going to use ropes for the kidnapping, or do it stealthily? Let's do it stealthily. Quote. Translator notes. Extraordinary pattern law talent, what a mouthful. Chapter 98. Lotus 6. Whoosh. Facing the sandstorm of Cheon Sak City attached to the heaven-treading desert, Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin Dan packed a large cloth and scanned the area below. If my memory serves right, that's where the lady lived. Cheonmin Ryong's gaze turns to an alley. Inside the alley is the white magic lotus artifact store that I have seen before. There it is. Could it be her? I sigh softly, pondering what to do. But Ryong Hung, aren't there other clans' descendants in the alley? Indeed. As stated, the alley is packed with cultivators possessing consciousness. Even cultivators appearing to be at the Chi building stage are present. These pathetic ones, chasing after a woman. Now that the Cheonmin clan is involved, let's snatch her away as flamboyantly as possible. Let's do that. Then, Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin Dan leap down from the flying magic artifact shaped like a ship, cutting through the sandstorm. The extraordinary pattern law talent is required by our main house, we will take her to the Cheonmin clan. What is? At the booming shout of Cheonmin Dan, the surrounding cultivators flinch and look up at the sky. No one dares to stand against the mid-Chi building aura of Cheonmin Dan. Even a cultivator at the early Chi building stage grimaces but remains still. And when Cheonmin Dan unfurls the cloth, I don't know what business my daughter has with you, but that will be a bit inconvenient. Rumble. A surge of white spiritual energy approaches. Cheonmin Dan flinches, crossing his arms to block the wave of spiritual energy, which writhes and transforms into a huge tiger, blocking Cheonmin Dan and Cheonmin Ryong. The two retreat to the top of buildings, looking down at the tiger. Kugugugu. This is Chi building late stage. The tiger made of spiritual energy also leaps into the sky. And from the dissipating spiritual energy tiger, a middle-aged man in white emerges. He wears a white robe, a blue ring-turned necklace around his neck, and various glass magic artifacts on his wrists. I am the guest elder of the Gongmyo clan, Buk Jong-ho. I'm unsure what the Cheonmin clan wants with my daughter, but I ask for a formal request rather than such rash actions. A guest elder of the Gongmyo clan. The individual governing this Cheon Sak city. Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin Dan step back, and I remember him. That Chi building cultivator who tried to recruit me to the Gongmyo clan. He was her father. Our clan has come for. Cheonmin Ryong slowly explains their purpose to Buk Jong-ho. After listening for a while, Buk Jong-ho nods. So, you tried to kidnap my daughter for that reason. I'm a bit angry, but I'll tolerate it for the sake of the Cheonmin clan. Indeed, my daughter is in trouble because of the clan descendants. Buk Jong-ho frowns for a moment and then speaks. However, even if I wanted to let my daughter go to the Cheonmin clan, she will refuse to go. What do you mean? Cheonmin Ryong asks in surprise. Buk Jong-ho rubs his temples, looking vexed. It's due to her mother's last will. She told us to wait for a betrothed who promised to marry my daughter in Cheon Sak City and would come with a token. Hence, she won't leave Cheon Sak City to honor her mother's last will. Cheonmin Ryong frowns and asks. Is there no way? It's an important matter instructed by our clan head. If it's for a few days, she might, but she won't leave Cheonsak City for several months for such a matter. If you try to kidnap her against her will, you'll have to fight me. After pondering for a moment, Cheonman Ryong and Cheonman Dan both sigh lightly. We understand. We'll just have to study the magic artifacts in Cheonsak City. What do you think, Taoist CEO? I have no objections. Well, then, let's do that. Cheonman Ryong commands the clan descendants gathered in the alley below. You brats. The extraordinary pattern lot talent artisan your surrounding has an artifact commissioned by the formal order using the name of the Cheonman clan. It is a multi-year project, so anyone disturbing the artisan will be punished in the name of the Cheonman clan. Scram. Upon hearing that, most of the late-stage cultivators furrow their brows. It's then, among the late-stage cultivators, one who looks to be of a similar physical age to me, floats into the air and respectfully greets Cheonman Ryong. It is an honor to meet cultivator Cheonman Ryong, one of the three greats of Chi building. Yes, I am also honored to meet cultivator Byuk Moon Seong, the most talented late-stage heir of the Byuk clan. You just barely missed being selected for the official ascension group of the Righteous Path Alliance, didn't you? Ha, I'm embarrassed. Byuk Moon Seong, clad in a brown robe, strokes his unique long ponytail as he continues. However, I have something to say to cultivator Cheonman Ryong. Regardless of the Cheonman clan's affair, right now, several late-stage cultivators from various clans and Shi are in the middle of a bet. Cheonman clan's matter is important, but the bet cannot be delayed. Could you please wait just a little longer? A bet? What kind of bet? Cheonman Ryong furrows his brow and asks, to which Byuk Moon Seong replies with a sly smile. She has made a deal that if any of us late-stage cultivators can properly handle the magic artifact she's making, she'll end her long seclusion in Cheonsak City and go on a trip with the cultivator who handled the magic artifact properly. Huh, so you mean to say that right now, when the Cheonman clan's affair is urgent, you plan to take the artifact artisan on a trip? Cheonman Dan glares at Byuk Moon Seong with fiery eyes. Byuk Moon Seong, still at early Chi building, steps back with an awkward smile. That's not what I meant. Anyway, I just want to secure a promise. It's fine, to go on the trip after the Cheonman clan's affair is settled. Did cultivator Buck not object to his daughter traveling with a young man? At Cheonman Dan's words, Buck Jong-ho calmly speaks. I allowed it. I am sad that my daughter is too confined to Cheonsak City because of her mother's last words, so I told her to continue with the bet. Of course, I will accompany her. Cheonman Dan and Cheonman Ryong looks at me. Is it okay with you, Taoist CEO? I look at Byuk Moon Seong and ask. How long will this bet take, approximately? Ah, well, that's when it happens. Pot. A bright light bursts from within White Magic Lotus. Ah, it seems the magic artifacts have just been completed. If you could wait just half a day, the bet will be over. I nod. All right, that's fine. Cheonman Dan and Cheonman Ryong also nod, and we decide to watch how the bet unfolds for half a day. After a while, I feel spatial fluctuations from the space inside the magic artifact store. It feels similar to space compression. Perhaps the inside is larger than the outside. I recall when I went to kill the previous emperor of Yangguo. Even the emperor who was only at the Qi refining stage had hidden in a pavilion that was larger on the inside. Is that magic artifact store itself a kind of space-like artifact? After a while, the door of the magic artifact store opens, and the late-stage cultivators from various clans and Byuk Moon Seong enter the store. Cheonman Ryong and Cheonman Dan also enter the store after getting permission from Buck Jong-ho. I too enter the store after getting permission. Whoosh. Wo Wang. As the spatial feature on the store itself activates, the appearance of the store completely changes from the last time I entered. On a large platform are flags, swords, mirrors, bells, scrolls, wheels, and more. Numerous forms of magic artifacts are displayed, and as expected, she in white stands on the platform, looking down at us. Haha, indeed the magic artifacts of Miss Buck are different just from the aura they emit. Byuk Moon Seong exclaims in admiration as he looks at the artifacts. Indeed, as promised, if someone can properly handle these magic artifacts, Cultivator Buck will agree to travel with that cultivator. Don't worry, Cultivator Byuk. However, as I mentioned earlier, I will set the standard for properly handling. Understood, I would like to hear the standards. She lifts a bell-shaped magic artifact and infuses it with spiritual power. Pot. A bright blue light emits from the bell, coloring the surroundings and casting a semi-transparent water curtain around her. 10 stripes appear on this water curtain. The magic artifacts I have created will show 1 stripe for each 10th of their power unleashed. Thus, if any of you, with any magic artifact I made, can bring forth more than 60% of its power, I will consider the standards met. Ha ha ha, 60%. Byuk Moon Seong laughs aloud. How amusing. Even if the magic artifacts made by Cultivator Buck are impressive, do you think the distinguished heirs from various clans gathered here cannot draw out even 60% of a magic artifact's power? Not just Byuk Moon Seong, but snickers can be heard from around the room. This means everyone will likely draw out 60%, so we should determine the winner of the bet by who can enhance the magic artifact's performance the most. A late-stage cultivator from the Gongmyo clan chuckles. However, she looks at him coldly and says, "Well, I was worried that setting the standard at 60% might be too high and would be criticized. I wonder how many among you here can actually bring out even 20% of my magic artifact's power." What? The Gongmyo clan cultivator's face turns beet red upon hearing this. Are you mocking me? No, wasn't it you who started the mockery? Suddenly, her demeanor changes. The soft and gentle look disappears, replaced by a fierce glare that dominates the room. How dare you stand before my magic artifacts and say that anyone can draw out 60% of their power? Do you think my magic artifacts are that easy? If there are those among you who saw the failures displayed in White Magic Lotus and thought my magic artifacts are trivial, please leave now. I do not wish to speak with those who cannot recognize the true value of my magic artifacts. Under her intense presence, the Gongmyo clan heir seems to flinch and then, thumping his chest, steps forward. Fine, then I'll be the first to test the magic artifacts. After all, a magic artifact is just a magic artifact, how impressive can it be? He climbs onto the platform and grabs a flag-shaped magic artifact. Wong, and after a while, fiss. The magic artifact looks to light up but then, just as quickly, the light goes out, and it droops lifelessly. What? Full of confidence, yet you can't even activate the magic artifact. No, I'm just not used to a flag-shaped magic artifact. The late-stage cultivator from the Gongmyo clan goes around, touching other magic artifacts and infusing them with spiritual power. But, just like the first, none of the magic artifacts light up, they just fizzle out. The only one that even showed a sparkle was the mirror-shaped magic artifact he bragged he was most familiar with, but even that failed to produce a single stripe indicating 10% power. This is a scam. What kind of magic artifacts are these? It's not meant for use. He shouts at her, but she just smiles and replies. If you lack skill, at least have some manners. Please step down. There is not a single magic artifact here that you can handle. Spiritual power of the earth attribute escapes from around the Gongmyo clan heir. I look at Buk Jong-ho and ask, shouldn't we intervene? But Buk Jong-ho clicks his tongue and crosses his arms. No need. My daughter's magic artifacts are all difficult to draw power from but. Kwang, the Gongmyo clan cultivator, unable to hold back, casts a spell. Kurururu. However, his spell is blocked by the water curtain produced by her magic artifact, disappearing without a trace. 10 stripes are floating on the water curtain. If you can properly draw them out, it boasts considerable performance. In fact, even I, her father, can only draw up to 80% of the power from my daughter's magic artifacts. Pride fills Buk Jong-ho's face. A person without manners, skill, or character is trash. Please leave. Wong. At her gesture, several magic artifacts floats in the air, displaying 10 stripes, and point at the Gongmyo clan cultivator. The Gongmyo clan cultivator's face reddens and then turns pale, but he soon descends from the stage amidst the jeers of other clan descendants. Kukik knew that guy would be like this. What was he thinking, trying to handle a magic artifact? Even in the Gongmyo clan, known for their magic artifacts, he's famous for not being able to handle them. After rearranging the magic artifacts, she looks around the audience and asks, is there anyone else? And then, without exception, everyone starts to challenge her magic artifacts. An outstanding magic artifact artisan indeed. Cheongman Ryong strokes his goatee and comments. Absolutely trustworthy. Isn't she somewhat of a magic artifact genius? It seems no one can properly draw out the power of the magic artifacts. Indeed, many late-stage cultivators tried, but the one who managed to draw out the most power from a magic artifact could only reach 20%. However, Cheongman Ryong is unimpressed. Outstanding, yes, but such magic artifacts can be crafted by any high-level refiner. Compared to Gongmyo Cheon Sak, who was absolutely wild, it's clear she's still far behind. Gongmyo Cheon-sak used to brag to me about the magic artifacts he created, and compared to him, this law pattern artisan still has a long way to go. Cheonmin Ryong critically assesses her. It seems she deliberately made the circuits of the magic artifacts complex and difficult, whereas Gongmyo Cheon-sak's are simple yet elegant. Cheonmin Ryong looks to have some expertise in magic artifacts, evaluating them from a distance. Complex spiritual energy circuits allow one to create powerful magic artifacts from ordinary materials, but whether those are truly good magic artifacts is another question. Buk Jong-ho nods somberly at Cheonmin Ryong's words. You are right, my daughter still falls short compared to elder Gongmyo Cheon-sak. But there is a reason she makes the circuits complex, please understand that. Alright, as long as she handles the clan matters properly. Cheonmin Ryong nods. Soon, a gloomy air falls over the faces of the many cultivators gathered in the magic artifact store. Among them, even the few outstanding ones couldn't draw out more than 20% of a magic artifact's power, let alone 60%. As things turn out this way, some give up even before trying. This is a scam, what nonsense is this? The crowd's mood grows hostile, but they are subdued by the presence of Buk Jong-ho, Cheonmin Ryong, Cheonmin Dan, and myself watching from the back. Then, breaking through the crowd, one person steps forward. Cultivator Byuk has stepped up. That's right, if it's a chi building cultivator, maybe. It's Byuk Moon Seong, who had gathered the cultivators. Truly living up to her reputation. I have seen the magic artifacts of Miss Buk. But, honestly, only drawing out 60% of a magic artifact's power seems too easy, doesn't it? He chuckles and climbs onto the stage, examining the magic artifacts. If you're a chi building, understanding how to handle magic artifacts comes naturally. Even if you had set the condition at 90%, it would have been insufficient. Then, Byuk Moon Seong lifts a flying sword magic artifact. Let me show you the skill of a chi building cultivator. Wang, his pure spiritual force surges into the flying sword. The sword begins to shine, revealing stripes. 1 stripe, 2, and then 3. Wow, 3 stripes. Is this what a chi building cultivator can do? No one else could draw out even 30% of the power. But the stripes don't stop there. 4 stripes, already 40%. However, the smile gradually fades from Byuk Moon Seong's face. How far will this go? Pot. As Byuk Moon Seong pours in more pure spiritual force, a 5th stripe appears on the magic artifact. 50%. Look, cultivator Byuk might just meet the standard. But not only me, Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin Dan, even Buk Jong-ho sneer or click their tongues. It's evident that Byuk Moon Seong is struggling. TCH, pouring in power without understanding. I could draw out 70% myself. Cheonmin Ryong clicks his tongue and mutters, attracting the scornful glances of many. However, most recognize Cheonmin Ryong as one of the top 3 in chi building, and many turn their heads back with murmurs. And then, blink, blink. As Byuk Moon Seong's face reddens, the 6th stripe faintly flickers and appears on the flying sword. Then, fish, the light on the flying sword goes out. It's done. Look, Miss Buk, I have drawn out 60% of the flying sword's power. However, her face remains cold. 60%? Are you sure what you've shown is really 60%? The stripes were visible, weren't they? She seems to ponder for a moment, and the crowd becomes on edge, awaiting her decision. Frustrated, I blurt out without thinking. The sword, why handle it like that? Swoosh. I flinch. I look around as numerous eyes are now focused on me. Unlike the looks directed at Cheonmin Ryong, these stares linger. Byuk Moon Seong, having heard my comment, looks at me. No one dares to speak recklessly to me, a chi building cultivator, but their faces are filled with dissatisfaction. Then Byuk Moon Seong, wiping sweat from his forehead, speaks. Ha, it seems you're around my age, fellow cultivator. How can you be so presumptuous? I apologize if it sounded unpleasant. I just spoke without thinking, as I usually handle the sword. Oh, you're a sword cultivator. But I, Byuk Moon Seong, pride myself on being a sword cultivator too. How can a stranger criticize my way? Sword cultivator. It seems he's referring to a cultivator who practices sword methods like flying sword skills. So, cultivator Byuk, you mean to say you've primarily trained in flying sword techniques? Yes, I'm known as the sword genius of the Byuk clan, having entered the chi building stage. Seeing you're likely in early chi building, I suppose I have a higher understanding of swords than you, don't I? You shouldn't speak so thoughtlessly. Quote. I flinch. I was going to let it go. However, debating sword understanding in front of me. In front of me, I approach the stage with a stern expression. What? I pick a sword-shaped magic artifact from among those on the stage and infuse it with pure spiritual force. Watch. The sword, Wang, is used like this. As I infuse the sword with power, it emits light. Stripes appear one by one. The stripes reach 3, 4, and 5. Ha, ha ha, if that's all. And then the sixth stripe appears. Quote. Byuk Moon Seong and the late-stage cultivators from various clans widen their eyes. A clear sixth stripe, but I continue to infuse the sword with power. My pure spiritual force is considerably stronger than Byuk Moon Seong's, and my understanding of the sword alone is enough to draw out the sword magic artifact's power. Coom. The seventh stripe appears. Byuk Moon Seong stares at the sword I am holding as if his eyes will pop out, and she too looks at me with considerable interest. The eighth stripe. Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin Dan are also surprised, and Byuk Moon Seong forces out a deflated laugh. The ninth stripe. Buk Jong Ho, watching from behind, is also startled and focuses more intently on my sword. And then, Coom, the sword magic artifact surges with energy, forming the final, 10th stripe. I have perfectly drawn out 100% of the magic artifact's power. Ha, ha ha, Byuk Moon Seong steps back a few paces with a defeated expression, his face filled with defeat and a mix of anger and humiliation. Clap, 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 clap. She smiles brightly and claps her hands. Amazing. Until now, no one but the creator myself has been able to fully draw out the power of these magic artifacts. Wang, I don't pay attention to her words and infuse even more spiritual power into the sword. Dare to talk about sword understanding in front of me. I'll show them what it means to be a sword cultivator. Forget everything except the sword in front of you. Coom, the sword vibrates wildly, and above the 10 stripes, an 11th stripe appears. Wah, even she, who has been calm until now, changes her expression. How? But I focus on the sword, not paying attention to her. Hundreds of spiritual energy circuits are visible within the sword. I don't concern myself with the unknown circuits. The important thing is the essence of the sword. A weapon for cutting, stabbing, and swinging. How to maximize the power of that tool to its limit. That is, to swing the tool until it becomes one with my arm. Severing mountain swordsmanship. First move, transcending peaks. Pack. When I take the stance and swing the sword magic artifact, a total of 12 stripes appear on it. She completely loses her composure and stares intently at the sword in front of me. How is this possible? I never set it to produce such output. 120%. What have you done? Quote. I think 13, even 14 might be possible. Wang, I withdraw my pure spiritual force and continue. But the sword might break. It appears that 120% is the maximum limit for this magic artifact before it breaks. It's a good artifact. I hand the sword back and step away. Byuk Moon Seong beside me avoids my gaze with a look of defeat and anger. Far away, Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin Dan look astonished by my skills, while Buk Jong Ho looks at me with an expression of disbelief. Quote. It seems the winner is decided. What is your name, sir? She momentarily looks at the sword I have handed her and then speaks to me. My name is Seo Eun Yun, just call me Cultivator Seo. But initially, I was not a participant in this bet. Not a participant. From the moment you entered the magic artifact shop, you were a participant. Among the others here, is there anyone who can draw out the power of magic artifacts like Cultivator Seo? No one responds. It seems there isn't. Then, as Cultivator Byuk previously spoken, I shall give the right to Cultivator Seo. Do as you please. Byuk Moon Seong spits out his words and then leaves the magic artifact shop. Many late-stage cultivators also follow him, and among them, the descendants of the Cheonmin clan are caught by Cheonmin Dan and begin receiving discipline in a corner of the magic artifact shop. Anyway, you have proven that you can handle my magic artifacts properly, so I will give all these magic artifacts to you. She points to the artifacts on the stage, and I look at them for a moment before saying, I'm sorry, but I don't need them. Excuse me, I don't use magic artifacts. With an overwhelmingly superior alternative like the formless sword, why would I use something like a magic artifact? By the way, do you remember me, Cultivator Buck? You once gave me water and clothes. Are you ignoring my magic artifacts now? But my words change her mood. She's feeling humiliated. No, that's not it. Didn't you say you were a sword cultivator? Not using my magic artifacts means you find them unsatisfactory, right? What's this? Does having a similar talent to Mad Lord also mean she's mad as well? I feel perplexed and try to explain, but she speaks with an angry expression. Wait a moment, if you're not satisfied with these flying swords, I'll give you something better. I'll show you my successful creations. No, that's not necessary. Whoosh, she runs into the back of the magic artifact shop, and Buck Jong-ho approaches, clicking his tongue. My daughter is usually kind and gentle, but her personality changes a bit when it comes to magic artifacts. She has great pride in the magic artifacts she's created herself, so please understand. Isn't this reaction a bit too much? Well, that's because you're the only one who has drawn out 120% of the power of her magic artifacts. Since you're the first person she's seen do this, it seems her pride won't allow her to accept you not using her magic artifacts. Soon, she comes back from inside the shop, carrying an armful of sword magic artifacts, and lays them out in front of me. Each one emits a respectable spiritual aura and are so splendid they take one's breath away. These are the sword magic artifacts I'm most proud of. Please try holding one and then decide. Her face is brimming with confidence. Unable to bear her expression, I pick up one of the swords. Wong. As I infuse power into the sword, a rainbow of spiritual energy covers the inside of the magic artifact shop. Although stripes do not appear like before, I feel that I am drawing out more power than the magic artifact has. She too must feel it, as she looks at the sword I am holding with a mesmerized gaze. I apologize, but I really don't need magic artifacts. Excuse me. I flinch. I sense a chill flash in her eyes. Her confident smile cracks, and veins throb on her forehead. Ha ha ha, how do you feel crushing the pride of an artifact artisan, Taoist CEO? Cheonmin Ryong flies onto the stage and speaks. When two Chi building cultivators stand before her, she conceals her chilling demeanor and changes her expression. Taoist CEO and I would like to entrust the owner of White Magic Lotus and the person endowed with the extraordinary pattern law talent with a task. What kind of task might that be? Taoist CEO and I intend to develop a certain formation, and for that, we need to create formation magic artifacts. Can you help us? She nods in agreement. Of course. However, isn't formation development a field that takes quite some time? That's right. Hence, Taoist CEO and I will stay in Cheonsak City to work on this project with you. It might take several years. After nodding, she looks at me. So, while developing the formation artifacts, you'll also develop something that will satisfy Taoist CEO. No, really, I don't need any. Cheonmin Ryong pokes me in the waist to stop me. His telepathy reached my ears. How much do you plan to crush the artisan's pride, Taoist CEO? Having a magic artifact wouldn't be bad, just accept it. All right then, I appreciate your effort, but I'm not in a position to afford such artifacts. Since you didn't like the artifacts you won for the bet, I am making you a replacement. My pride is at stake, and since Cultivator CEO has shown new potential for my artifacts, I will make it for free. Speechless, I just stare at a spot in the magic artifact shop. Anyway, I look forward to working with you. My name is Buck Hyunghwa. My name is CEO Eun Hyeon. I appreciate your cooperation. Stay strong, Cultivator Byuk. Our clan elders say that Cultivator Buck's talent corresponds to the 4 pattern among the extraordinary pattern law talent. True demonic talent begins to manifest from 1 pattern. 4 pattern is just considered a level of an outstanding prodigy, so there's no need to be too disheartened, right? Byuk Moon Seong is receiving consolation from the other cultivators. Haha, thank you for your consolation, friends. Well, it's unfortunate this time, but if there's another fun event, please call me, Cultivator Byuk. I'll see you later. As Byuk Moon Seong's mood seems to brighten a bit, the cultivators each ride their flying artifacts and return to their clans. Later, Byuk Moon Seong's face suddenly contorts in anger. Fools, she's not just a simple 4 pattern. Why did I drag those guys around, bothering and annoying her? Kwong, he stomps in anger and gnaws his teeth. I can't let some unknown guy take her. If I can make her, who possesses demonic talent like that monster, mine, becoming a clan head isn't just a dream. He bites his lips and walks into an alley. Let's wait for her to go on a journey. I still have a chance. Serving Command Palace. In the inner meeting room of the magic artifact shop, Buck Hyunghwa, who received the formation diagram, is startled. The creation of the legendary artisan. Yes, we need to create a formation that will stimulate growth for a spiritual tree inside, and you must create the formation artifacts for that. Cheonmin Ryong, Buk Hyunghwa, and I sit at a table, discussing the formation. After a while, she asks seriously, can we enter Serving Command Palace? If I could see the dragon veins and qualities with my own eyes, it would be easier to create suitable magic artifacts. Additionally, Serving Command Palace is known as a treasure. If we can borrow its power for the formation artifacts, we can create even more effective ones. However, Cheonmin Ryong shakes his head. Serving Command Palace only appears once every 400 years. It will be several hundred years before it appears again. Ah, but I know a secret way to enter. Quote! At my words, Cheonmin Ryong looks surprised, and Buk Hyunghwa's face brightens. What kind of method is it? Ah, I just need to ask a friend of mine. I take out a communication device connected to Seo Ran. The day turns to evening. I reached out to Seo Ran, and along with Cheonmin Ryong, we continued to discuss and sketch out the formation diagrams. Buk Hyunghwa announced she would create the basic magic artifacts for the formation and entered her workshop. Sigh. After finishing the discussion with Cheonmin Ryong, I briefly step out of the meeting room. He always has an overwhelming number of questions. Cheonmin Ryong is known for his inquisitiveness, constantly asking, why do you think that way? This habit persisted even during our discussions on formations. His sharp questions can be piercing at times, but they also bring a sense of nostalgia, as if revisiting the past. The past, once gone, never returns. This fact remains true, even for someone who has experienced regression. Lost in such gloomy thoughts, I hear a noise. Clang, clang, from Buk Hyunghwa's workshop inside the magic artifact shop, the sound of a hammer striking echoes. Buk Hyunghwa is quite remarkable. To create magic artifacts, she hammers away beside the intense heat of the flames, her being a woman notwithstanding. I casually approach her workshop and stealthily observe her working. Creak, creak, she's carefully engraving something on a formation flag artifact, and then she proceeds to hammer and shape something new. Suddenly, I notice something blossoming on her face. FZZZT. It's a four-colored pattern. This pattern, resembling tree branches, bore colors of gold, purple, light pink, and black. The black and purple patterns, interwoven, create a semi-blended appearance. That must be four pattern. Amidst the sparks, her figure, forging magic artifacts while adorned with four colors, continually captivates my attention. In the midst of this, suddenly, our eyes meet. Ah, Cultivator Seo, have you come? I have something to ask of you. What would that be? Here, whoosh, she goes deeper into her workshop and returns with a large box, placing it before me. Creak. Upon opening the box, it contains numerous unfinished sword magic artifacts. These are artifacts I made, inspired by seeing you with the previous swords. All these, crafted in just half a day. Buk Hyunghwa, with a confident expression, adds. These are specially made for you, Cultivator Seo. They're not finished yet, but I bet they won't easily unleash their full power this time. Why not try infusing them with your spiritual power? With a slight smile, I pick up one of the swords. Once again, I channel pure spiritual force into the sword. As expected, the sword glows, emitting more than 120% of its intended output. I wonder if she will be disappointed. I feel sorry for defying her expectations. As I am about to speak to her. Buk Hyunghwa, in a daze, watches the sword as it releases strength beyond its limits. Her mouth continuously moves, muttering something about artifacts, and her eyes are fixated on the sword. She must have gained some inspiration. Just then, the four-colored pattern reappears on her skin. Four pattern may only be considered equivalent to the level of a prodigy, but it seems to be a talent far surpassing ordinary magic artifact artisans. Suddenly, I shudder, observing her in her trance-like state. The intertwined purple and black patterns look to be merging together. Chapter 99. Lotus 7. Chi. Hat. However, at some point, she regains her senses and the two patterns that were merging return back under her skin. What was that? Miss, are you all right? Oh, I'm fine. Just needed a moment to think. She smiles briefly, then takes the magic artifact from me again. If you don't like this one either, let's use this failure as a learning experience and try again next time. She takes the magic artifacts and goes back into her workshop. She doesn't know how to give up. I let out a light sigh. I've said several times that I don't need a magic artifact. Is she stubborn, or just not understanding? I find a subtle sense of kinship in her persistence and unwittingly smile lightly. I get a message from Seo Ran 3 days later. I can let you use the nether crossing ship, but in exchange, give me spirit stones. I immediately tell the news to the Cheonmin Ryong. The nether crossing ship, Cheonmin Ryong, shocked, quickly communicates back to the Cheonmin clan head through sound transmission. And a few days later, Kung, at Cheonsak City, the Cheonmin clan head, Cheonmin Jung-jin, personally arrives with 80,000 spirit stones. Is it true that just by offering spirit stones, one can have a chance to ride the famous nether crossing ship? He asks, placing the storage artifact filled with spirit stones on the ground, addressing me and Cheonmin Ryong. I nod. Yes, a senior I know has agreed to allow a one-time ride on the nether crossing ship. However, it's important to know that this nether crossing ship is a wreck from a battle with the Mad Lord. I'm aware. The tale of the Mad Lord facing the Black Ghost Valley alone is known to everyone in the cultivation world. Nevertheless, I'm eager to ride the nether crossing ship. Even if it's ruined, the honor of riding the ship from the Black Ghost Valley that swept the seas is immense. Cheonmin Jung-jin speaks with a hint of excitement uncharacteristic of his usual solemn demeanor. The prospect of riding the nether crossing ship excites not only Cheonmin Jung-jin but also Cheonmin Ryong and Buk Hyung-hwa. That legendary artisan's replica ship. To be able to see the nether crossing ship. I look at them slightly awkwardly, thinking to myself. I have entered the nether crossing ship several times with Seo Ran. In my past life, I had even personally sailed it a few times, so it doesn't feel like a big deal to me. But it seems the nether crossing ship's value is much greater than I thought. Several days pass. I fly to the Black Wind Sea with Buk Hyung-hwa, Cheonmin Ryong, and Cheonmin Jung-jin. Buk Jong-ho wanted to join with his daughter. But as he's responsible for overseeing Cheonsak City, he couldn't leave easily and just entrusted us with her safety. Just head in that direction. Understood. We boarded Cheonmin Jung-jin's flying magic artifact shaped like a ship, and I guided them towards the nether crossing ship. Didn't Miss Buk say she wouldn't leave Cheonsak City? I ask, looking at Buk Hyung-hwa. Technically, I don't take on important duties that require me to be away for months. It only takes a few days to visit Serving Command Palace, so I joined this journey. I see. Your father mentioned that you don't like to be away from Cheonsak City for long periods due to your mother's last wish. Yes, that's right. She plays with the jade-colored norage tied around her waist. My mother was also an artifact artisan. Before I was born, she made a pact with her friend to make their sons sworn brothers if both had sons, make their daughters sworn sisters if both had daughters, and arrange a marriage if they had a son and a daughter. She looks at the norage while facing the sea breeze. This is a magic artifact made by my mother. It was made in pairs, and she said the other one would be with my destined partner. According to my mother's last wish, I've been waiting at Cheonsak City, which is why I don't like to leave the city. I see. I smile at her. I hope that someday, your destined partner appears before you. Thank you. Buk Hyung-hwa smiles, holding the accessory. Kuring kururung. Soon, Cheonmin Jung-jin's flying artifact enters the sea area where the nether crossing ship resides. There should be a barrier ahead. Just break through it. Understood. Cheonmin Jung-jin looks around, then precisely steers the flying artifact towards the location of the barrier and flies into it. Kuwang. The flying artifact hits the air as if it's striking something, and we enter inside the barrier. It's a big ghost. The big ghost has appeared. Once again, the ghosts within the barrier call me a big ghost and seem to jump around, but they don't dare to approach due to Cheonmin Jung-jin's presence. After piercing through several layers, we finally break through the last barrier and arrive at the location of the nether crossing ship. Chalk. Wow, is that the nether crossing ship? Ho, that is the one from Black Ghost Valley. The replica of the masterpiece created by the legendary craftsman. Above the nether crossing ship, there stands a figure. Song Jin. It's Song Jin, exuding the aura of core formation, welcoming us. Cheonmin Jung-jin's expression turns serious upon sensing Song Jin's aura, which is even stronger than his, in the late stage of core formation. Hello, Elder Song Jin. Where's Taoist Seo Ran? He is gathering yin energy and ghostly energy from the deep sea as I instructed. He should be absorbing yin energy in the depths, practicing his cultivation method by now. I see. After answering me, Song Jin turns his attention to the spirit stone box held by Cheonmin Jung-jin. It takes 10,000 spirit stones to launch the nether crossing ship once. Another 10,000 for a single spatial travel. That's 20,000 in total. Another 20,000 for the return journey, plus the privilege cost of stepping onto the nether crossing ship of the Black Ghost Valley, another 20,000 spirit stones. A total of 60,000 spirit stones. It's an enormous cost. What is this? I understand. I was about to object, but Cheonmin Jungjin nods and hands over the 60,000 spirit stones to Song Jin. This junior presents these spirit stones to the elder of the Great Black Ghost Valley. Good, a well-mannered one. Unlike that bandit who demanded the Nether Crossing ship out of nowhere, you have a different level of integrity. Quote. Cheonmin Jungjin looks puzzled, and I avoid Song Jin's gaze. Are you from the Cheonmin clan? If you are descendants of Chong Ho, it makes sense. Well, I also owe Chong Ho, so I'll reduce the cost by 2,000 spirit stones. Song Jin, noticing the Cheonmin clan emblem on Cheonmin Jungjin's clothes, returns 2,000 of the 60,000 spirit stones. Thank you, elder. Alright, where did you want to go? We wish to enter Serving Command Palace. Serving Command Palace? It's not the time for Serving Command Palace to open. Unless you're in the later stages of nascent soul, you can't break the prohibition of Serving Command Palace. Don't worry about that, I have the means. I take out a barrier-breaking scroll and Song Jin nods. If you say so, let's go then. Song Jin takes the spirit stones and climbs near the steering wheel of the Nether Crossing ship. Goo. As Song Jin grabs the steering wheel, the spirit energy stored in the thousands of spirit stones begins to flow out. Pot. The spirit energy is sucked into the Nether Crossing ship, turning into ghostly energy and filling the ship's reserves. The Nether Crossing ship rattles and begins to gather yin wind around it. Enveloped in the yin wind, the giant ruined ship slowly rises into the air. Cheonmin Jungjin and Cheonmin Ryong watches the ship rise from the bow with amazement, while Buck Hyunghwa looks at every corner of the Nether Crossing ship with curiosity. We're going. Pot. The Nether Crossing ship is engulfed in the wind and enters the space between, moving into the void. Swoosh. After a while in the void, we re-emerge into reality, transported above the western mountain ranges of Shaanxi. Spatial transmission through space. Let's see, the coordinates for Serving Command Palace are around here. Song Jin holds the helm of the Nether Crossing ship, looks around, and once again enters between the void. Pot. We re-enter the outskirts of space. There, floating in the void, we can see a massive cylindrical palace. We have arrived at Serving Command Palace. So soon. Is this the power of the Nether Crossing ship? Cheonmin Jungjin and Cheonmin Ryong look amazed by the speed of the Nether Crossing ship. I want to see more. Buck Hyunghwa looks disappointed that she couldn't explore more of the Nether Crossing ship. Let's enter the Serving Command Palace now. Sigh, it's a shame, but what can we do? Her face, initially filled with disappointment, lights up with excitement again upon seeing Serving Command Palace. Then, I will anchor the Nether Crossing ship next to Serving Command Palace for 4 days. If you don't return within that time, I'll leave without you, so manage your time well. Understood. Cheonmin Jungjin nods solemnly, and I take out the scroll. Pot. The golden prohibition of Serving Command Palace's outer wall shatters. Cheonmin Jungjin immediately raises his fist and strikes the outer wall of Serving Command Palace. Kuwang. Green light flashes, and the outer wall of Serving Command Palace breaks open. We enter Serving Command Palace through the newly created passage. Wow! As soon as we enter Serving Command Palace, Buck Hyunghwa exclaims in awe. What is it? The inside of Serving Command Palace's outer wall is just a corridor. Though it is impressively large due to spatial compression, it looks just like a plain corridor. Yet, something different seems to catch her eye. It's beautiful. She touches the decorations of Serving Command Palace. The golden patterns flowing there, and the finely detailed spiritual energy circuits, with a mesmerized look in her eyes. This is the one made by the legendary artisan. She caresses the walls of Serving Command Palace. After watching her for a moment, Cheonmin Ryong, Cheonmin Jungjin, and I discuss. Can you lead us to where the longevity fruit is said to be? Yes, I will do so. I lead the group to the botanical garden on the first floor of Serving Command Palace. In the green-lit interior of the arboretum, at its center, stands a young longevity tree, with a nearly ripe longevity fruit hanging on it. Oh, so this is the longevity fruit. Don't pick it, clan head. A fruit in this state won't extend life for even a year, let alone 100. I know, Cheonmin Ryong. I was just tempted. Cheonmin Jungjin, who was mesmerized by the longevity fruit, then notices several flowers on the tree and asks. If the formation you mentioned is completed, not only this longevity fruit but also the other flowers could bloom and bear longevity fruits, correct? If the formation is perfectly completed, it might be possible. Good. Then, during these 4 days, Cheongman Ryong and Cultivator Seo will investigate Serving Command Palace's environment and draft a formation layout, while the artifact artisan will plan the formation artifacts. I'll explore the upper floors of Serving Command Palace since I'm here. Saying this, he flies towards the door leading to the second floor of Serving Command Palace. I'll center my research around the longevity fruit and longevity tree, studying the nearby dragon veins and drafting a formation layout. Taoist Seo, please survey the outside of the arboretum and plan the external part of the formation. Understood. Then, I will also roam around and study Serving Command Palace. Cheongman Ryong starts measuring around the longevity tree and drafting the formation layout, while I roam the outskirts of the first floor of Serving Command Palace, planning an external formation to complement Cheongman Ryong's inner one. Buk Hyunghwa follows me around, observing different parts of Serving Command Palace. Ah, this is truly magnificent. Thank you for allowing me such a wonderful experience. She takes out a small tool from her artifact box and starts to analyze the walls of Serving Command Palace and their inner spiritual energy circuits. Jalgrak. The wall is quickly dismantled, revealing the spiritual energy circuits within. Buk Hyunghwa pulls out various unknown devices and begins disassembling and studying the circuits. It's nothing. It's all thanks to yourself. And, didn't you give water to me and my companion before? At my words, she pauses and looks at me. Oh, I'm sorry. I've offered water to so many desert travelers. I couldn't quite remember who you were. Haha, that's all right. We were really saved by your kindness. You've always been kind-hearted. I continue planning the formation while observing the dragon veins of Serving Command Palace's outskirts, and Buk Hyunghwa continues recording in her notebook as she examines different parts of Serving Command Palace. The walls she dismantles will self-repair after a while, so there's no need to fix them. Buk Hyunghwa also meticulously records the self-repairing process in her notebook. It's when we enter a different area. Jolt. Buk Hyunghwa suddenly twitches. In her line of sight are the remnants of Mad Lord's puppets. See, could these be? She approaches the remains, trembling. They are all ruined scraps, but they don't appear as such in her eyes. The Mad Lord's puppets. She hurriedly ran to the debris with her eyes. Rolling, fiddling with, and tearing apart the remains, then began to recklessly stuff them into her magic artifact bag. What a tremendous reaction. After all, to artifact artisans, the Mad Lord essentially stands at the pinnacle of their profession. Besides, a one-pattern extraordinary pattern law talent. Someone even more talented than Buk Hyunghwa. It isn't strange that she's drooling over this. Are the Mad Lord's puppets proving to be of great help to you? Are you kidding? Of course. Even his scraps are precious artifacts worth studying. Buk Hyunghwa has earlier been using her equipment to tear apart and dissect the Mad Lord's puppets. But suddenly, she sighs. It's a pity many parts are too damaged. It's helpful to be taking as many remnants as possible, but if there was even a slightly intact puppet remaining. Are you talking about intact remains? I suddenly recall a puppet from the Mad Lord that I had found when wandering the Serving Command Palace. Right, there was one fairly intact puppet. Ah, come with me, miss. I know where to find an intact puppet. Really? Her face lights up with excitement. I take her to the place I have visited before. And there, just like before, is the puppet. A bee puppet the size of a human torso. It's relatively intact. Buk Hyunghwa's hands tremble slightly. I can guess her feelings. She doesn't take apart the bee puppet right away but first holds and looks it over. Inside, it seems only the circuits are slightly damaged. The exterior is intact, and aside from some minor damage, the internal parts are mostly intact. Joy lights up Buk Hyunghwa's face. With a little bit of repair, it might be usable again. Oh. Buk Hyunghwa, visibly thrilled, carefully places the puppet in her storage bag. Really, this place is a treasure trove. A treasure trove, indeed. When I first came here, there seemed to be nothing of use. The only object of hope was the one longevity fruit growing on the first floor. However, it seems that for someone like her, even this place can turn into a treasure trove. Definitely, for someone like Miss, this place is beneficial. Honestly, I just thought of these puppet remains as mere debris. Ahaha, it's not unreasonable to think that way. She continues collecting the surrounding remnants as she speaks. To those who don't need them, they're just trash. But I think differently. Buk Hyunghwa picks up a small plate-like object from the floor, covered in numerous spiritual circuits. Even ordinary debris, or trash, becomes a treasure in the hands of someone with a connection, don't you think? In the hands of someone with a connection. I believe whether something is trash or not depends on fate and connection. That's why I think there's no real trash in this world. There are just things that haven't met their destined purpose or connection, and those that have. Quote. I am quietly impressed by her perspective on fate. A view of fate different from mine. I just thought of it as something to escape from, but this is another perspective. Not just something to escape from, but something that gives value in itself. Fate, I am lost in thought about fate when. Oh, why hasn't this part self-repaired yet? She has put the puppet remains in her storage bag and is now looking at the outer wall behind it. There's a small injury on the wall, exposing numerous spiritual circuits, which have not self-repaired yet. Serving Command Palace should have an auto-repair function, why hasn't this part? Bak Hyunghwa starts to dismantle that area with her tools. That's when it happens. Creak. A small compartment behind her opens. Simultaneously, a small hidden weapon springs out. A trap mechanism. Clang. I quickly dash over and deflect the hidden weapon. Ah, are you alright, miss? I'm fine but. Her face has turned pale. Oops. When I rushed over to deflect the hidden weapon from behind her, the shockwave caused her to lean forward slightly, causing her tool to deeply embed itself in one of Serving Command Palace's spiritual circuits. I think I might have triggered something wrong. Is it serious? It's not so much serious as one of Serving Command Palace's hidden functions. Rumble. Seems to have activated. Quote. Suddenly, a strange pressure envelops the entirety of Serving Command Palace. This pressure circulates around, compressing the pure spiritual force in every part of my body. My spiritual power is restricted, and my cultivation drops from the early stage of chi building to the early stage of chi refining in an instant. Looking at Bak Hyunghwa, her internal spiritual power seems to have mostly dried up, reducing her almost to the state of a mortal. Has everyone's cultivation been reduced by one realm? Judging by the range, it seems that the entire Serving Command Palace has fallen into this state temporarily. As the clan head of the Cheonmin clan, Cheonmin Jung-jin, being in the core formation realm, would have been restricted to chi building, and Cheonmin Ryong would have faced similar restrictions as me. It seems I've accidentally triggered some sort of restraint within Serving Command Palace. I apologize, miss. It's my fault for pushing you into it. No, it's my fault for recklessly meddling with Serving Command Palace's walls. I'll try to restore it to its original state. She hurriedly reinserts her elongated tool into the wall, trying to rectify the circuits. That's when I notice something. That is, inside Serving Command Palace. Amidst the debris of the Mad Lord's puppets and other remnants of heavenly being cultivators, the guardian stone statues of Serving Command Palace begin to stir. Creak, creak, the statues are gradually repairing themselves and starting to rise into the air. Is this the effect of the restraint? It looks so. Since this pressure began, spiritual energy has started to flow back into these guardian statues. Miss, is it possible to completely undo the restraint? Yes, it's possible. I just need to reset the circuits, but it'll take some time. Understood. I sense the energy of the rising guardian stone statues. They seem to be in the early stages of chi refining, probably because they're still recovering. But the longer this goes on, the more they'll regain their original strength by repairing their damaged body. I inspect my own condition. 1. My spiritual power is restricted and barely movable, but my internal energy is still flowing well. When I try forming a gang sphere, it forms without any issue. My martial skills are unaffected by the restriction on my spiritual power. Chapter 100. Lotus 8. I attempt to sweep away the statues with my formless sword, but I am suddenly concerned about Bak Hyunghwa repairing the circuit behind me. I could sweep them away, but if she carelessly informs Cheonmin Ryong or Cheonmin Jung-jin. I can already hear the word, Taoist, from Cheonmin Jung-jin, and I can imagine Cheonmin Ryong saying, Senior. That can't happen. I stop myself from drawing out the formless sword and just overlay Gang Chi in the air instead. 1. For chi refining level puppets, 5 energies converging to the origin should be enough. Kwang. I swing wildly at the statues in front of me while overlaying Gang Chi in the air. The statues seem to resist, but because they have not fully recovered, they're swept away by the Gang Chi. 1. However, after destroying the statues, they automatically start repairing themselves, wrapped in a pale light. I hope Cheonmin Jung-jin and Cheonmin Ryong are alright. Despite the restraint that reduces one's realm by 1, Cheonmin Jung-jin would still be at chi building, so there's no need to worry. but Cheonmin Ryong will have fallen to chi refining. Miss Buck, how much longer until the restraint is lifted? Almost done. Just. Pot. If I just repair this. As she manipulates the circuit with a tool resembling a pick, the circuit glows, and the oppressive pressure dissipates. Simultaneously, the guardian statues of Serving Command Palace, which were repairing themselves, collapse into ruins again. Phew, finally done. You've worked hard, miss. You're truly remarkable. Not at all, the Golden Order was just temporarily triggered and would have dissipated over time. I just hastened the process. Buck Hyunghwa began to tidy up her tools, wiping the sweat off her forehead. Then Miss Buck, please wait here for a moment. I'll check if Cheonmin Ryong is safe. Okay, please do so. She agrees readily, and I fly to the first floor arboretum where Cheonmin Ryong is likely to be. In the center of the arboretum, Cheonmin Ryong is gathering would attribute spiritual energy, standing in the midst of a large formation. Around the outskirts of the formation lay the ruins of what appeared to be guardian statues. Cultivator Cheonmin, are you all right? I am fine. The spiritual energy scattered here is of the wood attribute, and I was able to draw it into my formation and use spells since the dragon veins around here have already been investigated. It seems that the restraint was not a significant threat to Cheonmin Ryong. What exactly was that just now? I'm relieved you're safe. What just happened was, Koo-goo-goo-goo-goo. From one side of the arboretum, a cracking sound rings out, and Cheonmin Jung-jin arrives, using the flying escape technique. What was that just now? Ah, clan head. Cheonmin Ryong looks at Cheonmin Jung-jin. I explain the situation to him. So, that extraordinary pattern law talent caused this phenomenon in Serving Command Palace by tampering with its circuit. Yes, that's correct. After my explanation, Cheonmin Jung-jin seems to ponder for a moment before speaking. Where is she now? She's currently on the outskirts of Serving Command Palace. Lead me to her. I need to verify something. I guide Cheonmin Jung-jin back to Buck Hyunghwa. Ah, clan head. What brings you here? There's something I need to discuss. I understand you triggered the restraint, causing this phenomenon in Serving Command Palace. Yes, that's correct. He strokes his chin thoughtfully and says. When that phenomenon occurred, I was examining the upper levels of Serving Command Palace and discovered something strange. Something strange? Yes, at the top floor of Serving Command Palace, a peculiar barrier revealed itself. It seems that Serving Command Palace has something that can be revealed by triggering the special restraint. He then asks Buck Hyunghwa, can you trigger that phenomenon again? It's possible. Then you'll need to trigger it right when I give the signal. Oh, that should be no problem. She begins to explain. The restraint I triggered seems to be one of the main golden orders forming the axis of Serving Command Palace. Judging by its state, there appears to be at least 3 more corresponding golden orders. These axes exist all around Serving Command Palace, and each floor of the palace is formed along these axes. If I go up to the top floor of Serving Command Palace with the clan head and trigger this order again, that should do it. Understood. And, he looks at me, come with us. Since the external formation you're responsible for isn't as critical as the one Ryong is handling, protect the artifact artisan. It seems when the order is activated, the guardian statues of Serving Command Palace will start moving again. I understand. Curious about the barrier Cheonmin Jung-jin has discovered, I follow him without complaint. Together with Cheonmin Jung-jin and Buck Hyunghwa, we go up to the top floor of Serving Command Palace. Buck Hyunghwa goes to the axis of the top floor of Serving Command Palace and begins to dismantle the wall there. The top floor is a bit narrower than the others, even considering the spatial compression, so I can see Cheonmin Jung-jin from a distance. He looks to be waiting for something in the center of the top floor of Serving Command Palace. I thought there was nothing there, but it seems I didn't know about something. Begin. Cheonmin Jung-jin roars with spiritual power, and upon hearing his command, Buck Hyunghwa begins her work. Ding. As she fiddles with something in the circuit, an odd pressure circulates, compressing the spiritual power. Just then, pot, in the center of the top floor of Serving Command Palace, where Cheonmin Jung-jin is waiting. Above that area, a white light bursts out, revealing a hidden barrier. What is that? I am slightly surprised and observe the barrier closely. There was no change previously even with my demon senses, but the barrier appeared suddenly. Is it because my perception is weak, or was it that the artisan who built Serving Command Palace was such a great being? It's unclear, but what's certain is that the barrier that appeared this time is an immense one. A dense spatial fluctuation. Inside that barrier, space is compressed again. If we enter, another place will appear. Suddenly, Cheonmin Jung-jin, who has been observing the barrier, suddenly throws a punch towards a weak point in the barrier. Kwang. However, the barrier just vibrates and roars, showing no further reaction. I can see him muttering something from a distance. I couldn't hear him due to the distance, but judging from his lip movements, it looked like he was saying, even the power of Qi building can't break through it. Cheonmin Jung-jin continues to observe the barrier, and I destroy the guardian statues of serving command palace that are rushing towards us. About 1 hour passes, and the order naturally subsides. When the order disappears, the barrier also vanishes, and Cheonmin Jung-jin flies back to us. Thank you for your cooperation. For now, go back down to the lower floors. Spend the remaining time working on your formations and magic artifacts. He looks towards the place where the barrier had appeared and murmurs. I will gather energy here for the next few days. The strength of Qi building can't break through the barrier, but if I gather enough for a few days and release it all at once with a secret technique of the Cheonmin clan, it might rival a core formation strike for a moment. Understood. We nod and head back to inspecting various parts of serving command palace, drafting diagrams for the formations. At the same time, the three of us gather for meetings about the formation. And so, 3 days pass. For now, I've completed the basic investigation of the surrounding area and the conceptualization of the inner formation. The external formation has also been designed. It will perfectly support cultivator Cheonmin's inner formation. I've also conceptualized magic artifacts that can maximize the formation by connecting it with serving command palace. Somehow, we managed to finish all our tasks in a short time. Now we have to go back to Cheonsak City to report on the formation, make adjustments, and realign the connection between the magic artifacts, external formation, and inner formation. And, Cheonmin Ryong looks upwards. Is it true that the clan head is trying to break the barrier on the top floor? Yes. It's dangerous to break a barrier directly connected to the palace's golden order without caution. Especially with an ancient relic like serving command palace. He expresses slight concern. If the analysis of the barrier had been entrusted to me, I could have done it quickly. It seems clan head thought the conception of the longevity fruit and longevity tree formation is considered more important. Indeed, the longevity fruit must be important to the clan head. I say, looking upwards with Cheonmin Ryong. After a while, Cheonmin Ryong frowns and speaks. This won't do. I need to go up and see for myself. There's not much time left, less than a day, but I still need to analyze the barrier. If the clan head accidentally triggers more of the palace's golden orders. With that, he heads upstairs, and Buck Hyunghwa and I follow him to the top floor. At the top floor, Cheonmin Jung-jin is there, infusing spiritual power into his right fist, waiting. His right fist shines brightly, vibrating the space around him. Is that the secret technique of the Cheonmin clan? The power contained within it seems capable of delivering a blow equivalent to that of a nascent soul, even if just for a moment. Clan head, we have established the basic framework of the formations. What remains is to go back and refine the details. I came here upon hearing that you intend to break the barrier connected to the golden orders. He speaks earnestly to Cheonmin Jung-jin. However, tampering with a formation connected to a golden order can be dangerous. I know, Cheonmin Ryong. But it will be disgraceful for a clan head to come all the way to serving command palace and gain nothing. The heavenly being seniors have literally scraped everything clean. Only a few talismans, wine, and useless decorative artifacts remain, nothing else. Cheonmin Ryong sighs lightly and says. Could you give me time to analyze the barrier? If you do, I'll try to analyze it so you can strike where it's least problematic. Alright, let's do that. Artisan, trigger the golden order again and reveal the barrier. Yes. Buck Hyunghwa, obeying Cheonmin Jung-jin's command, tears the wall again to trigger the golden order. Kurung. The golden order is triggered again, and the barrier appears. Cheonmin Ryong examines the barrier closely, and each time the order's activation time ends, Buck Hyunghwa repeats the process of triggering the golden order. A day passes like this. Clan head, you should strike this part. Alright, it's about time for the Nether Crossing ship to depart. Let's quickly check inside the barrier and leave. Kugugugu. The power gathered in Cheonmin Jung-jin's right fist looks ready to burst at any moment. Alright, trigger the golden order again. Buck Hyunghwa triggers the golden order once more. After several days of inspecting various parts of serving command palace and triggering the golden order at 4 axial points, Buk Hyunghwa has become adept at freely turning the golden order on and off. Pot. The golden order is triggered, and the barrier appears. Cheonmin Ryong points to a corner of the barrier. This part here. Even though the golden order has lowered its level, the power in Cheonmin Yoongjin's fist is still immense, comparable to that between nascent soul and core formation. Kugugugugu. As Cheonmin Yoongjin swings his fist, the barrier shakes and begins to crack. A look of satisfaction appears on Cheonmin Yoongjin's face, and Cheonmin Ryong, Buk Hyunghwa, and I all look at the barrier with anticipation. Then, Cheonmin Ryong's expression changes. Wait, clan head, stop for a moment. Ding. A red light spreads from the barrier. Soon, the entire serving command palace is enveloped in the red light. Jong. The barrier finally shatters. But the red light from the barrier does not subside. What's happening, Cheonmin Ryong? Didn't you say there would be no problems? Cheonmin Yoongjin looks at Cheonmin Ryong in panic, and Cheonmin Ryong grimaces and replies. There shouldn't have been a problem under normal circumstances. But it seems someone twisted the barrier from the inside artificially. I didn't anticipate this scenario. I apologize. First, let's secure an escape route. Cheonmin Yoongjin retreats from the barrier and strikes the outer wall of serving command palace. Kwang. The outer wall crumbles, and now only the outer wall's prohibition remains to be breached for escape. But, the prohibition on the outer wall, it's changed. I grimace at the sight. The outer wall's prohibition is also dyed in a red light, and the barrier-breaking scroll I brought does not respond to the mutated prohibition. Cheonmin Yoongjin's face contorts in frustration. Damn it, it's almost time for the Nether Crossing ship to depart. Can't we send a message out? But neither I nor Cheonmin Ryong can do anything but shake our heads. Cheonmin Yoongjin, with a hardened face, turns back to look at the barrier he had shattered. First, we need to see what's inside. Outside serving command palace, in the empty space. Song Jin, who has anchored the Nether Crossing ship nearby, looks up at serving command palace. The entire city is enveloped in a deep red light. This reaction from the Golden Order. They must have tampered with serving command palace's control room. The agreed time is almost up, and with their abilities, they won't be able to break out of this Golden Order. Should I wait a bit longer out of mercy, or not? After a moment of contemplation, Song Jin decisively grabs the steering wheel. Those who recklessly meddle with the control room without knowing their place, it's not my concern. I should go see my disciples training. Besides, if they entered the control room, there should be an escape route, so there's no need to worry about them being trapped. Kugugugu. The Nether Crossing ship begins to leave the void, enveloped in mist. Suddenly, Song Jin, holding the steering wheel, looks back at serving command palace. But, it's been 800 years since I last entered serving command palace. Are the escape routes still intact? This place is. The inside of the barrier which we entered is a vast library. Or more precisely, it was a library. They've scoured everything thoroughly. Cheonmin Yoongjin looks around with a hollow voice. The library is completely empty. The bookshelves are devoid of a single book, and dust has accumulated everywhere. This formation seems to be the one that twisted the barrier from the inside. It appears I'm masonalized because of this formation. On the floor, walls, and ceiling of the library, a bizarre formation drawn in blood cover the surroundings. It looks like a demon formation, but I don't know the demon script, so it's hard to identify. Cheonmin Ryong examines the formation with a grimace. Cheonmin Yoongjin also scrutinizes the formation with a serious look. However, I shiver as I read the script and symbols on the formation. Isn't this a symbol of the Sea Dragon tribe? I have a hunch about who is behind this. Is it you again, Co Whale? What exactly is his goal? While I am observing the formations. What does this stand for? Cheonmin Yoongjin points to a small stand in the center of the library. That stand. I look at the stand with intrigue. On top of the stand, there's a small indentation that perfectly matches the size of the serving command seal I had seen in my past life. If you insert the serving command seal there, does something activate? Let's investigate that area. Led by Cheonmin Ryong, I and Buk Hyunghwa start to examine the stand. Cheonmin Yoongjin watches us with a serious expression. Suddenly, I notice small writing on one of the bookshelves near the stand. Is this ancient script? I had studied ancient languages while reading scrolls in the Royal Library of Shaanxi, so I could identify the writing without difficulty. The inscription read something like this. Why even bother preparing the ascension blessing for maggots? So they can feast harder on high-quality corpses. Quote. Question mark quote. Is maggots the right translation? It was an ancient term meaning something like corpse-eating worms, so I interpreted it as maggots. The corpse-eating worms referred to here. Are the maggots meant to symbolize those who are preparing for ascension? Who left these words, and with what kind of sentiment or intention? I look around the writing for any mechanisms or formations but find nothing and eventually dismiss it. While investigating the area, I found it. I've got it. Cheonmin Ryong and Buk Hyunghwa exclaim almost simultaneously. Cheonmin Ryong was inspecting the ceiling while Buk Hyunghwa tore open the floor under the stand, manipulating circuits. Wong. At the same time, two white formations appear on the ceiling and floor. This is a teleportation array. Cheonmin Jungjin and I mutter as we look at the formation. Ah, there was an escape route. A look of relief appears on Cheonmin Jungjin's face, but Cheonmin Ryong is still cautious. We don't know where this teleportation array leads. But, do we have any other choice in the current situation? Quote. Cheonmin Ryong, with a grim expression, eventually speaks. Even if we use this teleportation array, you do know that we need to endure the spatial pressure, correct? We don't have teleportation aid or talismans to withstand it. His words are spot on. Crossing through space means directly enduring the pressure from the outer limits of space. This is why only heavenly being cultivators dare to challenge the ascension gate. The spatial pressure inside the gate connecting to the higher realms is something only heavenly being cultivators can withstand. Cheonmin Jungjin responds. I, having practiced the Cheonmin clan's body refining techniques, can endure the spatial pressure. Cheonmin Ryong looks around and speaks. But for Chi building cultivators, resisting the spatial pressure is impossible. That may be true. However, I can protect one person at a time using my skills and make use of the teleportation array. Cheonmin Jungjin looks around at us and speaks. Since it's my mistake that led to this, as the clan head, it's only right for me to take everyone out. I'll use the teleportation array to take one person at a time and then come back for the next. If I take each person one at a time, we can all escape. Cheonmin Ryong's expression darkens at his words. But clan head, doing so might injure you. It's alright. It's my fault for entering the barrier out of greed, so I should take responsibility. I'll start by taking you with me, Cheonmin Ryong. He then points to me and Buk Hyunghwa in turn. After I've taken Cheonmin Ryong, I'll come back for you too. Wait here, I understand. Yes. Seemingly because of their kinship, Cheonmin Jungjin decides to take Cheonmin Ryong out first. It makes sense and he indicates that he doesn't intend to abandon us, so we readily agree. Then, let's see where this leads. Cheonmin Jungjin, protecting Cheonmin Ryong with his core formation power, jumps into the teleportation array below. Pot. The formation lights up, swallowing the two of them. It seems they have teleported successfully. Hopefully, they didn't end up somewhere dangerous. Ah, at that moment, PSSH. The teleportation array used by Cheonmin Jungjin fades and is extinguished. Buk Hyunghwa, in a panic, stutters as she looks at the formation. What just happened? Let me see. I examine the teleportation array, realizing the issue. Damn, it's a rechargeable teleportation array. Normally it's maintained by drawing power from serving command palace, but once used, it needs time to recharge from the palace before it can be used again. Seemingly, Cheonmin Ryong had missed this in his haste. I explain this to Buk Hyunghwa, who looks anxiously outside the barrier. Does it take a lot of time to recharge? Red light from outside the barrier is slowly creeping into our area. I bite my lip and nod. Buk Hyunghwa, pale-faced, continues. By the looks of it, once the red light fills serving command palace, a more powerful golden order might activate. Such orders usually involve lethal mechanisms. Quote. Is there really no way? I clench my teeth and look up at the teleportation array on the ceiling. Clearly, the teleportation array that Cheonmin Ryong and Cheonmin Jungjin used leads directly opposite of this one. But now we have no other choice. Miss Buck, there is one way. What is it? However, you must promise not to disclose this method to the Cheonmin clan. Yes. Ah, you have a secret. I swear I won't disclose it. Then, Wong, I grab the formless sword in my hand. Excuse me for a moment. I pull her closer with one arm and wrap both of us within the formless sword. I'll block the spatial pressure with the formless sword. Red light creeps towards us from outside the barrier. I glance outside briefly, then look up at the ceiling's teleportation array again. Here we go. Wait, hold on, you're too close. Pot. Enveloped in the formless sword, I jump into the radiance of the transmission array holding the two of us. Translator notes, we hit 100 chapters. Extra donated chapter by Skitlerd. Thanks for the support. The ancient inscription seems like a huge foreshadowing and the mystery deepens.